Good evening and welcome to the Man United Agenda. We've got Mr. B on and another new face, Ish, that's Kahinde as well. We're discussing our forward line and Martínez, not the defender, but the striker. Welcome to the Man United Agenda. It's Omundi Juma here, and as I said before, I'm joined by the mighty Mr. B and mini-me, Omundi Juma Jr., which is Kahinde, my younger brother, down below. And we were just saying, Kahinde, you're not in hospital, and you haven't turned.
But I'm okay.
You're not in hospital, and you're not wearing pajamas either, so no one should be concerned.
I am in hospital. Actually. That's why I haven't been on the show for so long. I'm direct for being in hospital.
Okay. Are you still providing Mr. B with talent for his side?
I haven't done that in a while, man.
Yeah, that's why I keep getting slapped up every week. But my link to the younger generation's gone, bro. I've got bare baby fathers in my team, boy. Jeez.
Hey guys, so just a quick summary of how you guys are feeling today. It's Monday. We had a productive week last week. A draw away at Chelsea and a win at home to Spurs. Your thoughts there, Mr. B? You covered both games.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with I wanted 7 points from the 3 games, but the fact that we didn't lose, we slapped up Spurs. First half hour against Chelsea, obviously, and the Newcastle game was the Newcastle game. I'm happy with where we're going at the moment. We're nobody's talking about us. We're just under the radar, and I like that. Ready to pounce.
And Kahinde, how do you feel about the progression under Ten Hag, especially last week with Spurs and Chelsea? That was a real test, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Spurs, Chelsea, even the Newcastle one. I knew that could be difficult because I thought, I don't know how they're gonna be hard to break down. But looking back, obviously we should have won that game. But then you see Newcastle beat Spurs. Was it yesterday? So they're on the arc. They're in the top four at the moment. So yeah, it's not too bad. We didn't lose. We're still not conceding many goals. We didn't concede from open play. So it's another positive.
Well, there are negatives as well, which we're going to go into during the show. But first of all, I want to talk about our sponsor, and that is GMS, Global Mapping Surveys. You may ask, what do Global Mapping Surveys do? Well, they actually assist architects, property developers, and construction companies all over the country. They offer a wide range of services, such as setting out topographical surveys, 3D laser scanning, monitoring. The link is in the description, guys, so make sure you go and check them out. That's our sponsor, GMS, Global Mapping Surveys. Anyway, we're going to get into this because Mr. B highlighted some news to me today, and this is what we're going to talk about. Martínez. It's not Martínez because we're all raving about our own Martínez, but this is Argentina countryman who plays in Inter Milan. I know we've spoken about this guy before, but he's had a really good season. And there's a quote today saying he would like to play in England at some point. So we're talking all things Martínez. Mr. B, let's start with you because you're the one who raised this with us today. Do you think it's important that we get a striker? And is Martínez one of the hottest strikers out there right now? What's the offer?
I think he's a complete striker. Plays with his back to goal, like Martial does. Rashford doesn't. In front of goal, I think he's dead-eye. And he's mature. He's mature for his age, as in what he does on and off the ball. Obviously, he played with Lukaku at Inter Milan, and they were prolific. So I think even that part of his game, which link-up play, players running off him, running past him being the furthest forward and holding the line, I think he'll be ideal for us. I really, really do think he'll be ideal. And the fact that he's got a nickname, the Bull, these Argentinians seem to always welcome Paro Miguel. I'm not going to butcher your last name. There you go. Yeah, we'll take that. So the fact that he's got a nickname like the Bull, then he's ticking all my boxes at the moment. I'm on there, man.
But his physique, he's not exactly like a huge bull sort of type, is he? He's small in stature in a way, but that is more about his personality.
Yeah, and we've already got one Argentinian in there who right at the moment is just. Can you imagine if we've got one this side of the field, this back end of the field, and then we've got one at the top end of the field? We're causing chaos, man. We're causing chaos. I really, of all of the players that we've been linked with, this is the one who I think. I'm a Rashford fan. I'm a Martial fan, but I think there's levels to the game at the moment, and right now we want to be at that top level. So if there's anything that can be done, even see, you don't want to wait until January. You don't really want to be You don't really want to be waiting until the summer. But are we going to get the funds in January?
Well, it looks like Inter are going to qualify ahead of Barcelona in their group. Coming to you, little bro. So what's your thoughts on Martinez? I mean, yeah, this is a subject that we discuss all the time about Man United, how to develop and that. But what's your thoughts on him as a striker? Is he someone who's been on your radar? Do you think he can contribute to Man United?
He's definitely like in the conversation, like top 5 strikers that we could go out and get, young strikers under the age of 25. And,
read it out. We'll say hi. Sorry.
It's Uncle.
See, if you stay away from the show, this is what happens. This is what happens. Okay, so Big G saying, before I tuned into Fresh Prince, Uncle Phil, how you doing, fella? Anyway, let's get back to serious. You know?
Yeah.
Again. Sorry, I'll ask you again. Martinez, like as Mr. B said, he gave us a lot of attributes to what he's got. What do you think about Martinez as a player? Does he fit the bill?
Yeah, I suppose because he presses, doesn't he? And his work rate as a striker is really, really good. He presses and he's got very good movement. He's very intelligent, very smart. He wouldn't have been someone that I would have considered that United go and get, because I've only just heard the link recently, and I've been hearing for the last year and a half that he's like Barcelona bound, that Xavi loves him. And I thought that would be more of kind of his ideal destination. I'm not saying that I wouldn't take him, but he wouldn't have been like my number one choice at the moment.
Okay, fair enough. Let's have a discussion about this. I like him as well. I've been doing a little research on him. He is a bull. He's got that sort of low center of gravity. What I do like about him, gets the ball on the half turn, so he plays it into his feet with his back to goal, defender on his back, and he seems to know, he's got eyes in the back of his hand. He knows where to spin off. First touch, just spin around the defender. He doesn't really score many. I think he's got a lot to his game, but I've seen him scoring from outside the box, left foot as well, slot it in the corners, something we had an issue with the other day, because I think all this sort of conversation rises from the chances missed in recent games. And we're talking about this because Ronaldo is playing up at the moment. He's been banned. He was banned from the Chelsea game. This is someone who does finish. Look at his goal record. But then we've had to fill him in with Rashford and Martial. Martial's done all right, but he's injured. Rashford couldn't finish. He had a few opportunities against Spurs and Chelsea to place it in the corner, and he didn't really do his job correctly. But and he doesn't score headers so much. He's not really a fox in the box. So ideally, are we looking for a fox in the box, someone who can bury things, get a sniff and put things away? Is that what we're looking for, Mr. B? Can't hear you.
Sorry. Omundi, it's not even, you see, now we're creating chances. I think it's more frustrating because it just seems like everybody wants to be missing. I think once we have that person, not necessarily the focal point, but the person who is dead eye, who's not going to miss. Haaland in front of goal, 1-on-1, he's going to score. Aubameyang back in the day, 1-on-1, you knew he was going to score. Andy Cole, you knew he was going to score. I want a striker where when he's in on goal, I'm not even contemplating him missing it.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
I want that confidence. When Rashford runs in front of goal, what are we thinking? Please just pass it in front of the goal. Pass it. What does he do? Slap the granny out of it. Straight down the centre, straight at the goalie. Martial, on the other hand, he passes, he gets his head up. He gets his veins go a little bit colder. That's what I want. But I want an upgrade on Martial, because right now I love Rashford to bits, but I'm not sure he is good enough for the role. And that's more because of the attributes that he has, the attributes that not his physical attributes more. You look at Martinez, you said he's 10 in defenders. He's 10, you know, he's going to hold the defender one way, spin the ball the other way. All right, it might be predictable, but certain things you can't stop. And that's what I like, or that's what I'll be looking for.
Who else is there out there in world football that, you know, can play like this? Because are we looking for like a target man? Are we like, remember he had Haller, Sebastian Haller at Ajax, who scored a lot of goals, who was basically a target man, big, strong forward.
He also had he brought him back as well.
And he had Broby, is it Brian Broby, who's a strong football guy who holds up the ball. So I don't know. I'm still trying to work out what Ten Hag wants in a striker, because Martial seems to be doing a good job out of the three guys, Ronaldo, Rashford, and Martial. So what do you reckon, bro? Is there like an identity to what we need in a striker? And does Martinez tick the boxes? So I'm not so sure.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, Martial, for how he's been playing, I think, like this is the guy that I'd want there. But we can't rely on him because of the fitness. He's too injury prone. So we have to look at other option. But what I don't know what exactly is Ten Hag looking for. I mean, he's been looking at Cody Gakpo, who plays mainly on the left wing, but apparently everyone's trying to mold him into a central striker. He's 6'2". Another thing you mentioned, bro, about the heading, like Martinez doesn't do that. But I'm thinking, well, when was the last time we do crosses now?
We don't cross.
This is the problem. We've got Ronaldo, who's probably the best header in world football. How many headers has he scored since he's come back to Man United? Do we play that game anymore? We've got two inverted wingers that don't go back to the byline and cross with their weak foot. They cut inside. So what is it that we're looking for? I don't know. So that's why I think when I start thinking about it more, maybe Martinez is that type of guy that Ten Hag's looking for to stretch defenders a bit more and finish off, like, you know, little things like tap-ins or whatever. I like the guy at Napoli. I like Victor Osimhen because I think he's a bit of a bully. He could do pretty much everything. He is good in the air. That's one of his attributes, but he's got blistering pace and everything. I just think he's a complete striker. You know, I think he'll do a lot of damage. Martinez, he's quite small. He's like 5'9". And I think when you're a striker, I know people say about our defender, everyone say his height. I don't really like the idea of having two guys with the same name in the team. But I mean, for me, when you're a striker like that, if you're 5'9" playing in the Premiership, you've got to have something about you that really, like Michael Owen, he had that blistering pace. He was small, but he had blistering pace, you know. And if Martinez doesn't have that, he could struggle.
Okay, question. Aguero, how tall was he?
I was just going to mention Aguero. And he's about 5'9", and they're trying to compare.
No, he's shorter than that.
You think he's smaller than that?
I think he's shorter than 5'9".
Someone put it online, but Aguero, he didn't have the blistering pace, but it was like Aguero and Martinez, they're not similar players. Aguero had finesse, where it was like he could place the ball, like just, you know, his shooting was amazing, and I just don't know. I'm not 100% sure. Like with Martinez, if he comes now, the way that we play, I don't know if it'll work.
All right. That's a good question.
Do you know there's somebody else obviously that we had that's been floating around on Monday? I know you've been somebody that you like. Let's say there you go. Lautaro Martinez, is taller than is taller than Aguero.
Yeah.
So Aguero must be about 5'7", maybe.
There you go. But you talk about extreme. Look, we talk about players. You said Michael Owen. He's got exceptional pace, and when he lost that, he wasn't the player he used to be. I think with Martinez, he's got good all-round attributes, but you need to have something exceptional if you're going to be that small. That's basically what you're saying.
And can I also just say, Aguero is playing for Man City. I'm just saying it's easier to score goals in that system. Whereas, we're, you know what I'm saying? This is Man United now.
Okay.
So here's a few questions. I want to go through the comments because people are piling in with their chat here. Obviously, Mr. G said this channel is meant for lookalikes. So who do we look alike? We've already established Big Phil, Uncle Phil. But what about the other two? Anyway, Andy Herbert saying, big up, lads. Well said, Solo. Ronaldo will be back to winning ways, and Fred will be the creator of his goals.
Who wrote that? Who said that?
That was Andy Herbert, of course.
God.
Martinez is similar to Martial, says HD Gamer. Eddie Football Waffle says Lautaro is a baller. Would take some big money to bring him to bring a UEFA Champions League striker who's in the middle of a title race. Want to say hi to Bubs. Bubs. I agree. Good centre forward and us right back in January. Realist Football United. Big up. How you doing? Go and check them guys out. Really good content. Says Eddie 70 million because Spurs was offered him for 60 million when we can. Bob again say Martial is different because he can play to his back to goal and link up play really good. That's what I think the manager wants. Eddie Football Waffle saying Broby, the guy from Ajax who sold and he came back on loan, is a beast. I wouldn't mind seeing him, what he can do under Ten Hag, Ten Hag student. Now, Stuart Marshall's always talking about Ivan Toney. He thinks Ivan Toney's the man. Yeah, he won't pick him up. Now, here's a comment I just want to go on about what we want from a striker under this system. Bath Time saying, I think he wants a physical striker, physical player who can occupy two centre-backs, be an aerial threat and an outball, and also offer third-man combinations. So that's the sort of ideal of what we want in a striker, according to Bath Time. Bob again saying, I think he wants two forwards with different profiles. There you go. Because if you look at Man City, they bought Alvarez and Haaland, completely different players. Eddie Football Waffle saying Ivan Toney is definitely a baller, great technique and for finishes well. I think he would do well with top service. Ten Hag seems like he would rate him. There's a guy called Brenton Diaz at Blackburn. People have been raving about him for a while. Big G rates him, and Mitrovic as well, who's been smashing in goals. Realist Football saying Victor Osimhen ain't that sort of guy. He's overhyped. And final one from me, final two. Abab saying we can have a short striker if Rashford improves taking headers. And obviously, big up to Paro Miguel Escobedo. He says Martinez is taller than Aguero. So let's go to talk about the player I like in this thing, because it's sort of like a head-to-head tonight. It's Jonathan David. He came from Ghent. He's a Canadian striker. Very good player. He's playing in Lille now, and he's slowly improving. And this season, he seems to be blowing up. I think he fits the bill. All the things that Bath Time mentioned there about being strong, physically strong, he ticks that box. We've got some stats here, guys.
Wrong one. Sorry.
So we've got some stats here about
David's got the pace. He's got pace, like, to burn.
Yeah, and he can turn. He shoots left and right foot. I think his link-up play is good as well from what I've seen on the eye test. And this season, he's been blowing up. I mean, this season, he scored about 9 goals in 12 games, and he's up there with Haaland as in goal contributions in all top leagues. He's since the 21st century, he's a top scorer for Lille as well. He's ahead of Hazard, Pepe, all these players there. I think he's this season in the league, he's assisted to points, 9 points. That's 9 goals and 2 assists. That's top in the league. He's got most points secured. He's 4th in most points secured in the Big 5 leagues this season with 9. That's he's secured 9 points. That's just behind Haaland as well. I think this season he scored 9 goals, 3 assists. And look, this guy is just blowing up. Every season he's getting better. If you look at the number of shots this season in the league, he's 4th in the league with 36, and touches in the opponent box. He's got 3rd with 70, where Kylian Mbappe's got 114. So this guy's up there. If you're looking at data, a lot of our clubs do look at data this lately, you know. And also, one thing that impresses me is his pressures. I've always said about him. This guy is come over from Canada. He does the work. Now, his pressures is doing 17 pressures per 90, compared to Martinez, who does 14. So they're both good at the pressuring, you know. And this is the thing we talk about: pressure, putting the squeeze on defenders, that kind of thing, in this sort of new modern game. He fits the bill, and I like him a lot. And I think he's someone who's sort of under the radar a little bit, but that's someone I would definitely be interested in, and I'd be delighted if he came to the club from what I've seen. So what do you guys think of Jonathan David, guys? Are you convinced by my little boost up here? I'm trying to boost the guy up.
Tried to sell him. Well, first things first.
Yeah.
The press is part of it. Obviously, we need the strikers to be complete strikers. he's fifth. Although he's under 22, he's the fifth highest goal scorer since he's been in France. And obviously, you know who's going to be ahead of him, the Mbappes and the Neymar. So on that side of it, great. Is he physical enough for what we think, or what I think Ten Hag is looking for in a striker? Pace-wise, definitely. You always want the pace. Is it a step too much now for him to come to Manchester United? But on the other hand, this is what we need to be doing. We need to get these players a little bit earlier than what we normally do. Instead of spending the 70, spend the 40. But what do we reckon? How much is he going to cost?
All right, here we go. So what we meant to do with these stats, Bath Time's asking, I think you have to go and do the eye test as well, and you'll see what sort of a player he is. I like the pressures. Go and look at him. He's a very athletic, fast, exciting player, and I think he fits the bill. We've got a bit of everything about him. Kahinde, over to you. What do you know about Jonathan David? I mean, is someone you would rate? I mean, you scout, don't you? You get players from youth academies and you try to redevelop them and get them into clubs again, don't you? That's what you do for. So what sort of attributes does Jonathan David have? And how come a lot of these Canadian players are sort of making it now? What's happening over there?
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, you've got the left back at Bayern who's Canadian.
Oh, Jesus, Alphonso Davies. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, and very fast as well, you know. So, yeah, strange. But Jonathan David, I think, yeah, physically, he's very fast and he's strong, like stocky. Like, I don't know if too many mans are going to barge him off the ball. But he's strong physically, got decent touch, and I think, yeah, he could really stress defenders and cause them a problem. I think what the problem is like when he's playing for Lille, right?
Yeah.
And with things with the French league, it's tough to really. It's risky, you know. Like Arsenal bought Nicolas Pepe.
Yeah.
You know,
How much?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, remember Jubiel Sousé didn't do too well when he came here. There was big hype about him when he, you know, before he came, went to Liverpool, didn't do nothing. So it's risky. So what I always like, for me, my eye test is always like how they do in Europe against the top team, whether it's the Champions League, even Europa League. Just how they're able to do against top defenders or English teams. And that's why I mentioned Victor Osimhen. Because what he did against Liverpool a few weeks ago, he's bullying them. People like Van Dijk.
Oh, really? I didn't see that. Okay.
Yeah. Well, whoever made that comment should go and look. And he scored a really good goal against Roma in the last minute the other day. It was like an angle from really tight angle. It's like they could compare it to Van Bassen's volley in the Euros.
Yeah, but you got to imagine if they paid. What did Napoli pay for him? 80 million euros, 90 million euros. They paid a wedge for him, and then he was injured for a season.
They bought him from Lille apparently as well.
Yeah, it's from Lille. Yeah.
Ironically,
it was a lot of money. It was like 78.
Yeah. So this David was coming to try and replace him, I guess. It was from Lille. Yeah, funny enough. And that, you know, I would have thought that would be risky, but he's proven he's doing the business. So. Yeah, I just think he in terms of like stats and all that, and he's proven it against top European sides. I don't think there's much risk factor to that because even though I don't think he's maybe prolific goal scorer, he'll do enough to stretch teams to make us create chances and everything else like that. But yeah, Jonathan David, if we bought him, I'll be happy with because it's just another striker option. But I don't know if he's like D1.
That's what we need. We need the one.
I'm sick of experiment.
Right. You see, the players we're buying now, Casemiro is the one.
Yes.
You know, there's no argument. Martínez is the one. No argument. These are the kind of players that come in, bang. You're the one. Give yourself, what does he give them? 3 week bedded in process where he plays them for the hour, 45 minutes, 50-minute hour. Boom, and then they're ready to go. I want somebody who's ready, that he's identified, and he said, right, this is who I want, and this is who I want to lead the line. Bang. they come in, and everybody else just has to fill in the gaps.
So, Mr. B, this is a tough topic because it's a striker we're talking about. And if we were talking about this situation 15, 20 years ago, there would be a list of names, top strikers around Europe. But these strikers, they're in terms of like real number nines, it's dying out. And you have to be really particular about what you want for your system now. You know, look at Bayern Munich. They just bought Sadio Mane to replace Lewandowski. Now, Mane's not going to score as much goals, but the work rate that he does and everything, he's a very different player to Lewandowski. But it depends, what are we looking for? And is there someone below the age of 25 who's, that is going to be like D1 that you could trust is going to be?
It's funny because like when you say that, I remember strikers like Salas, Crespo, Batistuta.
Right.
Vieri. Oh my God. Even like Jimmy Hasselbank, he went to Atletico Madrid and almost became top goal scorer over there. There used to be so many good strikers in world football. Now, I do agree, it's kind of limited. Maybe because the systems change. You've got wide men now who are sort of banging in goals. It is a bit like that. But I do agree with what the identity of the player that we do need. He does need to be a link-up man. He does need to sort of be able to have a bit of intelligence and be getting behind and head the ball as well. The whole reason, this is what I'm saying. Let's get off these two now. We've spoken about the two guys. We'll decide in a minute. But the whole reason we're having this conversation is because Rashford was putting in goal, through on goal a couple of times the other day. And we all like, and it's like, as Mr. B said, we used to have a guy who would go one-on-one and he's going to score. You can go, sit back and relax. Rashford ain't doing it. Ronaldo could do it, but he's maybe not getting those positions. Is that the frustration? Is this why? Because prior to this, we wanted midfielders. We need a midfielder. No one's talking about midfield anymore. It's all about striker. So
we're happy now.
We're controlling games, which is improvement. We're getting more chances, and we should have buried Chelsea the other day. And if we did have a good striker, someone who would finish their dinner, and we kept feeding him, spoon feeding him like that, no doubt, whether it's header, volley, little movement in the box, that's the sort of player we need who will bury it, and also be part of the build-up play as well. So, is it an issue? Can the coach teach Rashford or whoever's at the club to do the job? You guys, let me have it.
I think he's been there long enough to know that he probably wants Rashford to be the guy, but we've seen it. We've seen it with Rashford. I think he does need to bring somebody else in. I think he's seen it and he's assessed it and he's worked it out. From the left, Rashford ain't no problem. You're allowed to miss from the left, but as I said, as a centre forward, you need to be dead eye. You need to be there. You can't just keep hitting the goalkeeper, Omundi, man. You can't. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, I agree. But Rashford is only good at finishing when there's only one option to do. Like, if he's through on goal and he could only hit it one way. He's not instinctive. He hasn't got that real striker's instinct. You could play him there for counter-attack, stretch teams, or whatever, but in tight games when you need someone to just come up with, that instinct, striker's instinct, and just be there, he's not that guy. And like I say, it's so tough because I'm just remembering we had Lukaku a couple of years ago. Well, yeah, we bought him thinking, he's scoring the goals at Everton. He's big hype about him. And he didn't do it, but he went to Italy. He smashed it 2 years ago.
Can I say something to you?
All right,
this is what he scored a lot of goals. Do you know how much he missed? Do you know how much he could have had?
What are you talking about when he was at Man United?
No, I'm talking about when he went to Inter. The numbers that he got were good numbers, but the chances that he actually missed, he could have scored 3 times as much goals.
But if you just look at it, if you look on Wikipedia, goals to game ratio is like something like 40 games and 30 odd goals.
He could have been 40 games and 70 odd goals, bro.
Well, I didn't watch the whole season, but from those statistics, that looks good enough. Like you're one of the.
I get it.
And then they bring him to Chelsea, he doesn't adjust. So it's so difficult. It's so difficult to say what sort of mold or striker do we need, and we've got to think about our wingers, the way that our wingers are playing. What would suit our wingers?
That's why we don't need. That's why we don't need a tall man.
About headers, like got strikers that can head. I like that old Patrick Kluivert style. Yeah, hold up the ball, do them wicked headers, but we're not playing crosses, and that frustrates me. It's dying out, and it's sad to see because I want to.
All right, is that true then? Is heading coming out of the game as in strikers? Who's the last? Well, who in the league right now can put their bury there, as they say, good morning, head it down and get a goal like that? Because you've got Jesus, who's does score headers, but he's not going to leap over anyone. I remember Shearer and Sutton. Who?
Harry Kane. Not that much. Not that much.
Is this a skill? Is this an art? Headed is an art. Is this a skill and art that's coming out of the game? Are these strikers that we want? Is this someone who's going to be involved in the build-up and then come in and get a cutback and finish it like that? I mean, I don't really see much heading so much. And I do think it's so important, someone who can head. I look at Shearer, for example. He was brilliant. He was
complete though. Yeah, but then Shearer would hit a ball from 25 yards. Shearer was the complete. He was the archetypal complete forward. Left foot, right foot, 25 yards in the box. How much would somebody like that cost now?
Someone now would still be smashing goals because he's got that.
But I said we don't cross a Monday. We say every week on the Watchalongs.
Here we go. I want to, because you guys, it's been going on in the background. Sancho. You guys, what are you saying here? Are you disappointed with Sancho? You want more from him? Do you think he should be crossing more? What is the issue you got with Sancho, man?
Sancho isn't instructed to cross. They're playing to the manager's instructions. Look how they play. We don't run to the byline and cross no more. We don't even run to the byline and do the little cutbacks like Man City. We are proper cutting back. If we can't cross the ball, then it stops and it goes back round the other side and we recycle and start again. He's not about crossing the ball, the defenders knocking them out, and then you've got man running at our defenders. This formation may well suit bloody Maguire because he's not making man run one-on-one against our defenders. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it's I'm not going to say it's a negative, but he's cautious in that side of the game. He doesn't want to waste the ball there. Recycle it, go back round. We've got the players, and that's why he looks for the more intricate players. So Sancho, to me, when we've got possession, should be ideal in that position because he's not asking him to run to the line and cross. He's asking him to stop. What's the word you use? Chop. He wants you to chop a man.
And wait for the overlap of the fullback.
And wait for the overlap of the fullback. Then he's got two options. Yes. So I think Sancho's playing to the instructions is probably not benefiting his attributes, but if you don't play to the instructions, then what happens? You find yourself out of the team. You see what I mean? So at the moment, he's in the team, but is he in the team because Martial's not fit?
Yeah, I think with Sancho, I think he'll look good if he's playing with a quality striker. Because when I watched him in pre-season and when I watched him play with Martial, he looks very good. Because even at Dortmund, when Sancho was playing with Haaland, the reason why he got so many assists and goals because of Haaland's runs. It makes it easier for him. So, I think it all depends who Sancho is playing with. If Sancho's not playing with a quality striker, he doesn't look good because he's the type of guy that waits for the runs and he can find you and pick you out.
Interesting that. All right, so guys, if Ronaldo does leave, who are you going for? With the two contenders we had today, there's a few more that the guys in the comments have thrown out there, like Tony and Sesko and all that. But if you had a choice between David and Martinez, who are you picking, guys? If one basically if one becomes available and Ronaldo does go, that's a talk.
Martinez.
Who would you go for?
I think Martinez is more ready.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think Martinez out of the two, Martinez might cost more money, but I think he will probably slot into the team a lot quicker. I mean, what is he, Argentinian international? Yeah. I know, obviously, David is a Canadian international, but Canada, Argentina, obviously, you get surprised. I'm not disrespecting Canadian football. I'm not disrespecting him as a footballer, but if you get a striker that plays for Argentina, then, you're buying a level above. You know what I mean? So I would be going with Martinez.
Bro.
Yeah, I would have to choose Martinez as well, but I'm still, because I'm not like completely sold on him, 100% convinced that he do well. I wouldn't mind either one, but because of the reputation and all that, and what he was playing for a bigger club and he's from Argentina, I would choose Martinez. Yeah.
Okay. Did you see Martinez against Barcelona this season in the Champions League, guys?
I think I did. Yeah.
The goal off the post.
Yeah. Ooh. How would you word that, Mr. B? I love it when you. Yeah, that was me. Anyway, let's go for some comments before we wind it up, guys. Guys, it's 40 you watching right now. Press the like button for us. So many comments coming through. Such a good discussion here about these footballers. Football United UK TV says Endrick from Palmeiras is still coming up. He's 7 goals in 7 games in the recent tournament. Voted player of the year, player of the tournament. 16 years old. Great investment to bring in when he hits 19. Victor Osman says, Eddie, I'm not missing you out, Eddie. Sorry. And don't forget to tune into Eddie Football Waffle. Great channel. He says, I want a strong target man like Victor Osman. Osman looks great. Finished against Roma last night. Emmerich again has been endorsed by Miguel. Bubs is saying we need a strike with the right attitude. Yeah, for sure. None of us are ready for it, but we need a Morata. Barthel's been saying this a long time now because he does link up the play really well.
I've taken
after
McTominay's performance yesterday, bath time. I'm taking no notice.
Okay, Osimhen can't beat a man. Emma's saying Osimhen gets injured by the way he plays. Brazilian strikers are coming through right now. Says Football United TV. Eddie saying, I think Ten Hag can polish him up a bit. He's raw talent. He's strong counter presser and can finish in big games like Kahinde is saying. We still need a ball carrier, but it isn't important anymore. Talking about midfield, says A-Bub. Rebel saying, remember Ten Hag is the same man who turned Hala into a monster. He's average at best, but he fitted into what Ten Hag needed. Really,
is he talking about Martinez?
No, talking about Hala.
Oh.
Yeah, because he went West Ham, didn't he? He was big in Germany. He's scoring goals in Germany. I think it's Frankfurt, wasn't he? And then West Ham didn't get a feel. Realist United saying Rashford is a low IQ baller, pace and no brain.
Yeah,
a lot.
He's like a bullet, isn't it?
Football United TV saying, but cheaper than buying in Europe, buying South American. Football United TV, they do a lot of international football from different leagues, so I trust his judgment. Emma saying Rashford needs some one-on-one training with Benny McCarthy, who's obviously our coach at the moment. Really tonight saying, I agree with the guy, top right. Lukaku was getting carried by Martinez. He did all the work for Lukaku.
Mr. B, by the way, top right. Thanks.
They're calling us different names now. We've got Uncle Phil and Maxi Priest. They're calling me Maxi Priest. They got a name for you coming up, I'm sure.
Yeah, there is. I got bloody Donkey from Shrek. I got
Shrek.
the one from Faceless. I can't get no sleep. Although I did like that tune. Yeah, I did like that tune though, boy. Woo. So,
Matthew Bassett, how you doing? Martinez at the back and up front, dangerous for the opposition. Oh yeah, 2 Martinez. Rebel saying Sesko would have changed the target up man up front. They were talking about headers. I forgot about this guy, Dominic Calvin-Lewin from Everton. He's kicking heads. And Bartham saying Nunez, Vardy, and Tony. Van Nistelrooy scored loads of headers. Says Stewart. Giroud, he's in modern game. He scores headers. A-Bub is saying the only reason Sancho is playing is because we don't have a centre forward. They're talking about Sesko. So I'm just speeding through these comments here. Matthew Bassett saying Martin's game is perfectly set up for the Premier League as well. We did this debate that earlier on in the show. Bath time saying Sancho and the team are trying to play too fast. They need to slow it down and move the opposition out of the position. City are 5 times slower than we are in attack.
People are saying Sancho is playing too slow. That's the problem.
Well, I think it's another discussion for another show. A-Bub saying, right, we asked who you're going to pick. A-Bub says Martinez. Martinez says Eddie. Morata or Martinez says bath time. Martinez, lads, all day. We've got Martinez here from HD Gamer. David from Gavin. Martinez, if the money, yeah, everyone's saying Martinez. And Realist United is saying, loving the show tonight. Big up to Realist United. I'm endorsing you every time I see you. I was on your show the other day and it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. 25 likes, guys. Make sure you keep pushing that up. Mr. B, this is Juma. Tommy Club will always be welcome with me. Mr. B. I'm looking right. Kings United, Kings Football United says United should try to buy Kane. Any response to that, guys?
No, man. That was done. That was. I would. Do you know what? I
30.
Yeah, I don't know. No thanks. No thanks.
Well, maybe 3-4 years ago, maybe would you have taken that?
Yeah.
3-4 years ago.
Definitely.
So it's just the age. It's just the age for you.
And the price that he's going to cost.
Age, because he does the business in the Premier League, doesn't he? He scores goals. You can't argue with that. He's not like my favorite striker in the world, but he would 3-4 years ago. I would have said get him. But you know, look at Man City now. They tried to get him last season, and they're probably counting their blessings they didn't get him because Haaland's like much younger and better. You don't want to put 20 for 30 euros.
Today we're talking strikers because Ronaldo could be leaving possibly, and we've missed a few with Rashford. So Rebel saying, I think what is achievable in January and what could be targeted in summer are possibly two different lists, unless the Americans loosen the purse strings. So again, Tony, Stuart Marshall mentioned Tony about 10 times already in this. I
still think Tony is gonna cost. I think if we bid for Tony, we get him. I'll be honest. Right. I think if we bid for Tony, we get him. But it's.
Can he do the business for Man United? Would he be a squad player or would he be someone who could really... No?
I think he'll do a better job than Rashford up there. The chances that Rashford's been getting, I think Tony would be... I think he'll do a good job.
Can I ask you a question? What mould of striker, like say someone in the last 25 years in the Premiership, would you want? Would you want an Andy Cole type of striker or?
Look, don't! You can't ask me that. You can't ask me that.
Yeah. All right. You've already answered, but I'm saying, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, who similar to?
Well, it's not what we want; it's what the manager wants. That's what I trust. I trust the manager now. So whatever he feels has got the right attributes for the job that he wants his number 9 or that sort of role to fulfill, I would trust.
Yeah, but this is what we don't know what the manager wants. We're just talking about strikers that we like, but we don't know what the manager wants. I'm asking you.
I would want someone who's going to link up the play. So maybe, and then get in the box and finish. Header, volley, little sharp movement, and it's got a bit of physical about him as well. So that would be, for me, someone like Patrick Kluivert. I don't know.
All right. That's the same here. He's like one of my favorite strikers ever. So.
Okay, Mr. B.
I'm taking Andy Cole. Sorry, you mentioned these names.
Andy Cole was wicked as well.
I'm blinded by it, but Andy now in the formation that Ten Hag wants to play.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not an Andy Cole. Maybe it's a Martinez.
There's a good question there, bro. Because Big G saying Ruud van Nistelrooy. I want to say hi to Farah.
No.
Farah saying big up to everyone. Love from Abu Dhabi. Sorry. And there's a Fred Flintstone joke about that, isn't there? Yabba dabba dabba or whatever. Anyway, let's move on. So they're asking about strikers. Cole, what a legend, and Teddy Sheringham here. I
love Sheringham. Hold it up, but.
And Realist is saying a young Zlatan would be perfect for us. Just saying. Anyway, just saying as well. I think that's enough for us. There's so many. Look at all these beautiful strikers they're naming. Oh my God!
Andy Cole. Oh my God.
Anyway, that's enough from us, guys. That is enough from us because we have to finish up. But I really enjoyed the show. Really enjoyed the comments as well, guys. There's 17. Make sure you press the like button. Don't forget, we are sponsored by GMS. They assist architects all around the world and the country, and they offer services like setting out topographical surveys, 3D laser scanning, and monitoring. Link is in the description. I want to say thanks to TalkMU, who does a lot of good work in the background. I want to say thanks to all the people on the comments as well. Some really interesting comments today. We appreciate you guys. A great conversation here. Who wants to see Uncle Phil back?
If I do come back, I'm not wearing this again.
And the good thing about that, Mr. B, no one could find a twin for you, someone who's out there who looks just like you.
Yeah. I saw a couple of names in there. Don't worry, I just ignored them.
Anyway, guys, we're signing out. Don't forget, we'll be back tomorrow night, and we're gonna have a special guest, a new panelist this week as well appearing. So look out for her. Anyway, We're out, guys. God bless you, and we will see you soon tomorrow, 8:30. Bye bye.